Right. Welcome back. Last time, we finished up coring southern China, and then, well, most of it. This bit is, well, Tibetan, so I can't actually core it. Oh well. I will deal with the westernmost parts once I'm done with the Fengtians. In other news, the Fengtians just joined the Co-Prosperity Sphere. So very, very soon I'm going to start fighting like Asian cities, Japan, Siam. Yeah. Just gotta set some stuff up. I've got so many civilian factories now. Okay. I think I can start focus on getting military factories set up. And working on infrastructure in certain areas. Specifically places that would be good spots for dockyards. Though I'm saving the extra military factories for motorized, since I'm going to need that for supply purposes. I haven't called anyone else into the war yet, which is good for now. I should keep an eye on things this... Well, in come the Japanese. Okay. So you two deal with that. Well, it's not like anyone can join the United Front, so there's no reason to create it. Start seeing if I can dismantle certain areas. And Siam joined. As well as the Princely Federation, though they won't be able to do anything other than send troops my way. It's probably going to be busy, though. They've got their own problems to deal with. Which is good for me. Despite the KMT's United Front policy with the LCS, the party's Danguo policy had, in theory, only allocated those with KMT membership to participate in the training halls of Whampoa. Nonetheless, in the spirit of the Academy's first United Front policies, those who are members of the CSP are allowed to enroll in Whampoa, despite holding membership in both the CSP and KMT. The MMIC, Mission Militaire Internationale in China, has nonetheless proposed that the KMT relax its strict policy on cultivating party members to Whampoa. They argue that if the KMT is to indeed become the vanguard of a free China, that it must be open to the idea of accepting other patriotic Chinese revolutionaries to the Academy's ranks. Further, they would like to be able to sponsor individuals from the LCS to participate in Whampoa under the proposed reform policy. Sure, allow anyone to join. I need an intelligence agency. Anarchism in the party state. In the continuing fight for control over the syndicalist movement in China, the four elders have sought to rope in anarchist thinkers and intellectuals into their movement. Former anarchists themselves and the primary patrons of the World Society, they joined the KMT in the 1920s, to the scorn of many true believers. Wu Zihui has vocally defended their decision the most. He has argued that the KMT, World Society, and anarchists have a common enemy in the warlordism, and that, like Kropotkin's support for the Great War, it is sometimes necessary for anarchists to support aligned causes. Moreover, with the KMT's return to China, he has argued that the party has meaningfully changed since 1927, now truly committed to revolution, and, even should it fall, can always be brought back to the right path if enough anarchists join. But not everyone is convinced. Mao Yibo, for example, has accused the KMT of being corrupt and serving the interests of militarists and job seekers. Shen Zhongji, an anarcho-syndicalist from Zhejiang, who has worked for the party briefly but has since grown estranged, has reiterated many of the concerns he expressed in 1924 in the Free People Journal. To him, the common enemy argument could be used to justify any alliance, and he denounced the idea that anarchists are like knight-errants of the classics, required to help everyone who asks. Instead, the monarch anarchists must abide by their principles and keep in mind what happens next. He has further castigated the four elder support of tutelage, democracy, and dictatorship of the proletariat, all of which retain government and private property. Hoping to follow such a path to anarchism, which has neither, would be no different from going south in order to go north. Still, Shen and others have had some history of cooperating with the KMT, but as the party has grown increasingly authoritarian, it will require far more than flowery discourse to truly sway away hearts. The anarchists remain suspicious. A paramount raison d'etre for the revolution is the liberation of the peasant from exploitative tenantry and landlords. Land reform is a rallying cry for the party, and the much publicized successes in the Mingan proved to be a major draw. The realities of governing, however, have not been as idyllic. Replicating the apparent accomplishments in Mingan has been difficult and divisive despite a shared goal of peasant-run cooperatives. Chen Gongbo, the leading RCA ideologue, has argued that China is a semi-feudal state that requires political organization before a social revolution could occur. While class conflict is inevitable, he believes the mass movement requires a different handling than in Europe. Chen Duoxui and the CSP Orthodox have switched to adopt this stance. However, many CSP radicals continue to argue that China's problem is not in feudal institutions, but the domination of urban capitalists. It must adopt a proletarian socialist revolution. Gu Mengyu and many RCA moderates contend that caste struggle is not inevitable, and that China is an incipient capitalist state dominated by feudal lords. They, the World Society, and others call for non-violent land reform focused on rent caps and moderate redistributions. Not included in the discussion are the commoners themselves, who often know little of Marxism, syndicalism, or nationalism, and cling on to traditions and superstitions, a dissonance not uncommon in vanguardist politics. As pilot programs for land reform begin in Jiangsu, these clashing philosophies take center stage. Until now, redistribution has been implemented on an ad hoc basis by various commanders and commissars, creating a patchwork and inefficient system. The PAC has pushed for allowing peasants to organize from the get-go, with the party coordinating them later. The RCA has encouraged having magistrates to organize land first before giving it to the peasants, and condemn what they see as subversive PAC activity. Some extremists have privately urged the need for total nationalization until the end of tutelage, saying it is a wartime measure. Leave the patchwork system as it is for now. set up a railway in order to solve some issues. Another set of troops for the garrisons. There we go. Yeah, that should be good for now. Oh. Yeah. I'm just continuing to go through the tree. Specifically this part because once I've actually won and started the third repatriated Congress, this tree is no longer going to be available. So I'm probably going to finish off these bits so that the entirety of the tree is done, except for the bits that aren't important, like this. Or especially that. Maybe. Most of this tree, however, will remain. So I can continue to focus on other things. There have been multiple naval invasions, so I've been able to fight off all of them so far. This could change, but I'm also doing a decent job up here, so doesn't seem like too big of a deal. Because every time it happens, yeah, it's a bit of a scramble. Hopefully I can take on. I probably should focus on Fangtian for a while, actually. But I can work on that next session. Thankfully, Transamore still isn't done with her war, so yay. They're unlikely to join the Code Prosperity Sphere anytime soon. France capitulated, but it seems like the Spanish Socialist Republic is doing a decent job against the Entente, going by that. The Kingdom of France was starting to go into their territory, but it appears with Germany no longer having much of a direct front. Yeah. The US joined, well, the USAS joined the Third Internationale, which is why Canada's now that. Mexico also joined in, so fun for them. Not much to say about South America. I also started up my own intel group in order to, well, work towards getting ciphers done and all that. Economy's doing great, insofar as Hoi-Fort has an economy. I've got lots of political power. How much to spend it on was nothing that I'm really super willing to do. Yeah, not much to say, really. The war's ongoing. Japan's still working on their military trees and all that. There is the problem of Siam, though. They do have a lot of troops here. Very effective. likely spot for things to fall, so I probably should start moving troops there. I still need to finish up this bit. The dregs of this Japanese operation. Let's have it set up. Right, okay, that should be good for now. Yeah. The Ottoman Empire's war is still ongoing. Anyway. I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.